Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here. I hope you are sitting comfortably because I have an absolutely epic Siege of Riverrun on the Seven Kingdoms mod for Total War Attila between me and Pixelated Apollo. But not only between me and Pixelated Apollo, we also have an AI supporting us on either side, just to go ahead and add to the largeness of this battle, to add to the epicness. It's so much cooler seeing all these factions fighting together, because at the moment me and Apollo, you know, are really one of the only ones to actually have the build of Seven Kingdoms. So we kind of decided, instead of trying to get the few people who actually have this mod to play with us, we decided just to use the AI and kind of use them as like a meat shield and something like that. But yeah, as I was saying, this is just an absolutely epic battle, probably one of the best battles I've fought on Attila. I think this even might surpass the Jerusalem siege battle we did not so long ago, which you guys absolutely loved. And if you love this battle, please make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps out the channel and gets this video out here. It lets me know you enjoy more stuff like this, because you guys have been telling me to get more online battles, more massive online battles on this game, on this mod. So, you know, hopefully I have delivered, and hopefully you guys enjoy this battle. So, I am playing as the Westerlands. I am leading a force with Tywin Lannister, and I am supported by my AI ally, the Reach, and I think that is Mace Tyrell, not Loris, who is leading that army. Then defending, Pixelated Apollo is playing as the Blackfish, commanding the Tullys. Oh, awesome! Already, before we even get started, there's chaos in this battle. 17,000 men are going to be fighting in this online battle. It's going to be crazy. And yeah, Apollo is commanding the Tully and Bracken and Mallister troops, the men of the Riverlands, trying to hold off, trying to hold the Riverlands, trying to hold Riverrun. Obviously, this isn't Riverrun, but we tried to find the best suitable city that we could to kind of show off just this epic siege battle, to try and create it in the engine we have. And yeah, supporting Apollo, he has a lot of northern houses. He doesn't actually have any Starks here, but he has a lot of Karstarks, Umbers, Mormon, and just all the other northern houses, really, because we've seen a lot of the Starks, and I think Apollo wanted to go for something a little bit different. And already my catapults are just destroying these walls. It's so epic. Absolutely insane. So cool. I don't think we really need to run through the army comps too much. You can see, because you guys have seen the majority of the forces already. I'm actually going to go click play because, you know, why the hell not? Let's get this battle started and watch these epic troops just marching. Look at that. Oh my god. As a Total War fan, this just looks crazy. I mean, just look at that. The Reach soldiers look spectacular. They're pushing up their siege towers. We've got my catapults loading up. Oh, they bloody well will, of course. And just look at that. Just the Reach men marching through my Lannister soldiers. So my plan here was to use the Reach as a meat shield. I wanted the Reach to kind of commit all their troops, and then Tywin, being the smart guy he is just going to kind of deploy men where he needs to, if he needs to. So, you know, I'm hoping that the Reach will just kind of win me the day anyway. But if I do have to deploy men, I will. Yeah, and as I said, this is a 60-minute battle, and it goes right down to the wire. Like, literally, it's probably one of the closest battles I have fought on Attila. So make sure you're comfortable, make sure you have some drinks, or as Apollo says, make sure you have some snacks as well, because this is just an epic battle for sure. There's so many amazing moments, and I'm really hope that you guys enjoy this as the Reach advance forward, because there's not really much like this on YouTube at the moment, because there's only so many people with the mod. It's not everyone can create battles like this. So Apollo, as I said, is defending. He has, I think a lot of the men Apollo has on the front lines are going to be the AI. He's going to try and use the AI again, much like I am, as a meat shield. And I think this wall is going down now. There we go, killing more of the AI troops. And you may think, like, the AI does do some silly stuff in this battle, but, you know, overall it fights really, really well, and yeah, it makes for a super interesting battle. And I would say Apollo's AI works better than my AI does, but hey, we're not trying to fight here. We're not trying to fight at all. The Reach men are just waiting for more breaches, waiting for their siege equipment to move up. I'm trying to make as many breaches in the walls as possible, just to give me a good advantage, and hopefully give the Reach a decent advantage as they're just continuing to march forward. This is glorious. Absolutely glorious. I might stick a skip annotation for you guys so you can just skip to the first engagement, because at the moment we're kind of just sitting back enjoying the marching troops, the Reach just advancing forward. The Reach look like so glorious because they're all like standardized armor. They all look obviously like they've got the same equipment on. They just look like a proper well-oiled machine just marching forward. If we look at the unit count as well, you can see the balance power is in my favor. We, as the attackers, have around about 10,000 men, and Apollo, as the defender, has around 7,000 men, or just over 7,000 men, but they've already lost a few to my catapults and stuff. So because of that, I have around about a 3,000 man advantage. But Apollo has a lot of archers, and in this mod, archers do so much damage. It's actually insane. So, yeah, no, like, don't worry. This battle, as I said, is so close. It's just really cool. Really, really cool. So the Reach are going to be pushing up their siege tower. Not their siege tower, their ram to go smash through this gatehouse. Something I could have done with my catapults as well is focus down the actual gatehouse itself, because if you destroy the gatehouse, it then removes the burning oil, and if we don't remove the burning oil, then it's going to mean that we actually have to push through the gate, and obviously the AI will lose a lot of men. As well as that, the Reach are finally getting their ladders to the wall. They are climbing up the ladders first over. You can see the AI is trying to deploy men every which way. We have House Glover soldiers right here. The armored swordsmen pushing to the front line. As we go further back into the city, we have House Bracken. These are Apollo's spearmen. Men of the Riverlands. They are holding there. Apollo has some more skirmish cav back here, ready to push when he needs to with his horses. But at the moment, the walls are looking somewhat uncontested. I guess Apollo didn't want to hold them, and the AI just wanted to focus more on the actual ground forces right now. So he is sending some archers up here and some lightly armored swords, but the Reach should be more than enough to deal with them. And here we go, the first siege tower going down. March off, you brave Reach soldiers. And they should be able to find an easy combat right here. These are armored, heavily armored swordsmen. These longbowmen should be no match for these Reach warriors. As well as that, I decided to kind of kick things off. Tywin wanted to kind of give the Reach hope that, you know, we are definitely coming out to support them. So I pushed up 4 units of my Lannister heavy swordsmen, and I wanted just to engage these Umber light swords as quickly as possible. Because again, these Umber light swords aren't the best unit in the world, and my heavy swords are just more than capable of taking them out. So I wanted to try and push on them as quickly as possible, because the quicker we kill these, the quicker we can get up and over this breach. Because there's so many men. I think thousands of men die at this breach. So we'll have to come back and definitely keep looking at it. It's just such a brutally contested area. There's so much archer fire, catapult fire. And I'm going to try and sneak through some men over here, try and take the breach as best as possible. And you can see my Lannister men going on to the Glover spears. And again, these spearmen are going to be hard to break through. I'm hoping that my swords will be enough to deal with that, but then the AI is going to push as well, almost cutting off this division or this group of armored swords. I'm just going to be pushing in more men, and you can see the AI is doing a good job at kind of just forming up on this breach. He wants to stop me before I even get over it. And there's just so many men in this battle, it's crazy. I think the Umber soldiers, yeah, did get cut down, which is good for me. The more archers we kill in this battle, the better. Because after this battle, I freaking hate archers. Archers are just so OP on this mod. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal. You'll see by the end of it how many kills they get. And that's really what the mod creators wanted to show with this mod, is because in the TV show, archers do kill like everything in their path. And that's really what the modders wanted to show across. And here we go, more men pushing forward, my Lannister soldiers. So the Reach is still waiting. At the moment, they're just stationary outside the city. And I mean, that looks so cool. Look at them. They're just like in a nice orderly formation, ready for Mace to give the order, or Tywin to give the order, whoever's in control, to just push forward. Because at the moment, they're just trying to claim the gatehouse. They're trying to claim the walls as they're doing. They do have a little bit of an issue up here for like a couple minutes. They kind of run back and forth, but they'll charge in very, very soon. So don't worry about that. Because obviously, me and Apollo have to kind of try our best to get the AI to do what we wanted to do, so it's pretty hard, and sometimes it doesn't do everything we want to do, but the majority of this battle, you know, it runs really, really well. And also, considering we have as many men as we do, it's not being as super laggy, you know. As I said, we have 17,000 men fighting in this battle, or just under 17,000 men fighting in this battle. So, for that, it's not being too laggy either. The Umber soldiers ran out to try and stop this siege tower from really getting underway. That's going to force my Lannisters and the Tyrells to fight together, cutting down these Umber light swords. Like, these Umber light swords aren't really an issue for us. Oh my god, look already. Look at this already. The breach is just filling in. I mean, these towers are going to be racking up a lot of kills. Luckily, my little pocket of Lannister soldiers have managed to push forward over here. They're fighting the Karstark men-at-arms right now. And we can also maybe say this is a follow-on battle from my Red Wedding battle, which we did not so long ago. If you want to check that out, I'll leave the link in the description down below. But basically, we did a ambush battle where the Boltons ambushed the Blackfish as he was trying to escape the Red Wedding. But the men fought valiantly, and the Blackfish managed to escape. So maybe he managed to escape back to RIVERRUN to muster these, you know, northern men and the defense for RIVERRUN. That's actually pretty cool that kind of works like that. The Lannister soldiers are pushing hard right now. Shields up, just trying to get into this formation as best as possible. You know, I'm trying to create a decent pathway for the Reach. So when the Reach finally do decide to push in with their huge force, you can just see it right there. They've got so many men. And as soon as these men decide to push in, the fighting's going to continue. And it's going to be brutal. Apollo's using his longbowmen to start volleying into this massive clump of my forces. This is kind of the main contention for now, but don't worry. As soon as the Reach decide to push in, I think maybe I have to push through a little bit before they then throw all their men in. They'll be fighting over by the gatehouse. They'll be fighting on the walls. They'll be fighting down here. They'll be fighting in the streets and in the city centre. I just can't get across. I know I keep mentioning it, but I can't get across how much fun this battle was to fight. I'm definitely going to try and get more of these, and if you guys want to see more of them, just drop a like, drop a comment, let me know. Because I find it, I do definitely hear you guys. Fighting against an actual person with an AI is a lot better than just fighting against a huge amount of AIs. So I think we'll definitely try and do more of these siege battles. Maybe we could do like the Siege of Winterfell. Maybe we can do like another Siege of King's Landing, but just make it bigger with more enemies. Because, you know, this is pretty much like a survival battle for Apollo right now. He's outnumbered by 3,000 men against an elite force. And here we go. Some of my cavalry is going to be pushing now. Tywin wanted to dispatch an order to these infantrymen. So he threw up his cavalry. They're telling them the plan. They're telling them that we have to hold on a little bit longer before the Reach are going to commit their troops, before Mace is happy that they've made enough room. I think the order has been given, and these horses are going to be falling back very, very soon. If we look further back in the city, you can see that there's loads of Glover soldiers. These longbowmen are getting the odd shot off, volleying into the... Oh my god, that looks like that breach, man. You know, I mean, the majority of these archers want to let my men kind of come over the walls so they have a better volley. But I think they're all going to have a volley now, loading up their longbows. Oh, just a few of them shooting off pot shots. Nothing too serious. We have some more light Lannister infantry moving up, and they're also supported by a heavily armored Lannister infantry unit. They're going to be pushing up to the front. And here we go. The Reach Mace has given the order. The horses came to these Lannister soldiers to let them know that reinforcements are on the way. We've got fighting in the street already. The remainder of the Reach soldiers are pushing off now. A lot of them did get picked out by the archer fire as they were spazzing out on the walls. But, you know, that's kind of... We're both playing with an AI. We're both playing with a handicap. And by the looks of it, some of these Reach soldiers have actually got round the back of these Umber spears. And they are surrounding them, which is really good because these swordsmen are elite. Even though they are surrounded right now, the Mace, the Tyrell infantry are really, really good. So the fact that they're already in this spear formation is massive. And they're going to be getting supported by a ton more infantry. These soldiers are going to start pouring off. I think if we look at the gatehouse now, you can see the archer fire is brutally coming in now. These archers are going to be racking up so many kills. You can see my Lannister soldiers are pushing over this breach now. We've made a good headway. And we are just pushing hard. trying our best to make as much ground as possible. That dude is going to get sliced. Awesome. And in the shoulder. Oh my god, I love the kill animations. But you can see the Tyrell soldiers are pushing up. They're already starting to support my formation over here. And this is exactly what I wanted to happen, because if we look back at my army, you can see I have a lot of soldiers back here. I have pretty much my entire force, minus like 4 units of heavy infantry, just sitting out. We've got Tywin back here. He's just sitting back and watching the engagement. You know, he's just like, yeah, cool, you go forward, Mace, my men will be in support. You know, Tywin's a smart man. He doesn't want to commit as many men. He doesn't want to commit all his men if he doesn't need to. You know, this isn't going to be the only battle. Oh, the burning oil is going to be brutal. This is not going to be the only battle for the Iron Throne right now. So Tywin knows. Oh my god, the burning oil is going to be killing so many men. Maybe destroying this gatehouse would have been a good idea, because I don't think we're going to be able to break through the gate right now anytime soon. House Glover are holding it hard with the support of House Mormont. You can see the flags. But the battle is fully underway right now. The Tyrells have pretty much deployed all their soldiers to the engagement. You can see we're making a lot of head ground over here, though. We are pushing. The Tyrells are pushing forward with their medium infantry. They are advancing. But this is perfect range now for Apollo's archers. This is perfect, because you can see the top of my men are now over the crest. If Apollo shoots, he won't really be hitting any of his own men. So he can now use his archers to a huge advantage. Some Tyrell men coming down from the wall are going to be charging into the side of these gate soldiers, which is really important. We need to try and get our men into the city as soon as possible. They're also trying over here as best as they can. They've actually managed to cut through this Umber spear unit, or have managed to surround it at least. Or they haven't actually managed to surround it. I got confused by the Mormont swords. They look somewhat like the Tyrell medium infantry from a distance. So yeah, the AI has actually supported more of his infantry line with these Mormont swords to support the Umbers. We have the Tyrell infantry just going toe-to-toe. These Tyrell swords should eventually push through the spears. It's just going to be a bit of a slow process. And that's kind of what Apollo wants, because it allows his archers back here just to volley so many shots into the line, into the infantry. And as I've mentioned before, these archers rack up so many kills. It is brutal for me. But, you know, we wouldn't have it any other way in a siege battle. Archers would be super strong in sieges. So, you know, we would not have it any other way. And I mean, I would even like to take it a step further. I would really like it for, in the next historical Total War, for if you're fighting a siege battle, that burning oil makes me cringe every time, because it's just killing so many of our men. I would love it so that if you're defending in a siege battle, you should be able to replenish your arrows, because you can on boats. So why would you not be able to, like, you would have a stockpile of arrows in a siege battle, like 100%, much like you would in a boat. So you should be able to reload your ammunition in a siege for sure. Maybe you have to go back to a capture point or something to then reload, but you should be able to. I think that'd be a really cool addition. So at the moment we have 4 points of contention. We have this wall over here in the far left, then we have the central point over here, and then we also have the gatehouse. You can see over in the central point, we're actually doing pretty good. The Lannister soldiers with the support of the Reach, and actually Mace Tyrell himself. Mace, I don't really see Mace as much of a warrior anymore, but he is going in. He's moved up his bodyguard to rally the men and keep them happy. Then obviously we have the gatehouse, as I just said, and you know, it's a struggle. The burning oil is killing so many soldiers right now. And again, every single time, I really should have used my catapults to destroy this gatehouse. Looking back on it, I definitely should have done it. Some of the soldiers are still kind of having a struggle, having an issue on the wall, but the majority of them are getting off. And then obviously we have this far left contention battle over here in the streets. They've managed to segregate this infantry unit, this one Umber soldier, and I don't think he's going to be surviving for much longer. As well as that, the Tyrells are pushing up here. If we look at it, they're pushing some men off here. Apollo is going to turn his Bracken infantry to support this, which is very, very smart. You can see a lot of archer fire still. As well as that, I think these skirmishers actually unload all their ammunition over here. And the skirmishers do so much damage as well. It is just so brutal. Like, my worst enemy in this siege battle was 100% missiles. Oh my god, they gave me nightmares. Mace Tyrell is also pushing in with some heavy knights over here as well. So I think Mace has like split his horses up around here. I think we managed to finally destroy this left tower just because we have so many men. Yeah, I think because we have so many men, we finally managed to take control of this. And I believe we're also taking control of the gatehouse, which, yeah, we're just about to take control of the gatehouse, which is, again, just so important because we don't have... now the burning oil will hopefully stop now that we control the gatehouse. So we lost a ton of men there, but now that the gatehouse has been destroyed, the burning oil should stop and should give us a much easier task of actually pushing forward and fighting over this. As well as that, having the Tyrell soldiers, the AI is doing a good job of actually outflanking to support our men at the gate. So I'm very happy with my AI so far. If only they would commit the rest of these troops, that would really, really help me out. Taking this tower as well will be so important because, again, you guys know how good the machine gun towers are. The archer fire coming in, you can see just the devastation it is causing, killing so many men. So many men penetrating the armor. The longbows are super strong. Look at that, like 5 or 6 men just died per volley, and that definitely adds up. Definitely adds up. If we look at the kills so far for either side, you can see that we've lost around about 2,500 men, or close to it. Oh no, we haven't. Yeah, we've lost about 2,500 men, close to it, and Apollo has lost also around about 2,000 men. So at the moment, Apollo has lost a little bit less men than us, but overall, obviously we have like 3,000 more men. So Apollo really needs to be stepping up. These archers need to be getting a few more kills, and he needs to be pushing hard because we have the advantage in numbers. We have an extra 3,000 men, like I said, and we're going to be using every one of them soldiers to claim victory today, or at least attempt to claim victory today. House Lannister have had to be pushed in, have had to be committed to this engagement because the Reach, with the support of some Lannister soldiers, are really pushing down. Really, really pushing down in this engagement. If we just take a bird's eye view really quickly, look at that siege battle right now. And Tywin still has his entire army pretty much left to commit to this fight. And we have so many soldiers. Again, if we press K, I absolutely love this. I love the fact that all these flags are all the different houses and stuff. I think it's a really nice, unique change they've done. I believe they're bringing up some more Bracken heavy swords to get ready to hold this. The archers are firing volley after volley. Have we actually seen any Tully infantry right now? Where are the Tully swordsmen? I don't think we've actually seen it. At the moment, we can just see... Oh, there we go. There's a Blackfish right here. But where are the Tullys? I haven't actually seen them. Oh, here we go. We've got some catapults from the Tullys. Moving up. But did Apollo actually bring any Tully infantry? Maybe not. Maybe he just did not want to do that. So we're actually managing to start to break a few of these soldiers, I believe. Yeah, we've managed to break some Glover swordsmen. But if you look at this, they held down to the last man. Like, this is what we want a siege battle to be like. You know, these Mormon soldiers are routing with 4 or 5 men left. And that's what would happen in a siege battle. The soldiers would be fighting to the end, you know. They wouldn't be just like, oh yeah, we'll just, you know, rout and escape the city. There is no escape. The city is under siege. So the fact that these soldiers are fighting to the last, you just know it's going to be an epic battle. These Bracken swordsmen are trying to form up here next to the canoes, next to the boats. Well, they could actually, I guess, get on the boats and escape. We've really made an indent in this central engagement right now. The support of the Mace General Bodyguard is helping out so much, and the Tyrells are pushing so hard against the Glover and Karstark Spear Infantry, which are trying their best to defend it, but they are struggling for sure. If we look at the gatehouse as well, we are making ground. The fact that the burning oil stopped is just going to be a huge benefit to the Reach soldiers. But again, the amount of kills the oil got was just painful. Every time that oil came down, it made me cringe. And I think it's only a matter of time until we really claim victory over here. The street is just in huge contention right now. But again, you can see these Mormon soldiers are doing their best. They are holding us in place and allowing the longbows of the Bracken infantry or the Bracken archers just to get volley after volley after volley into our, our kind of the AI, which is stacking up a lot of his men. You can see so many men are just falling. Really, they need to break through this as soon as possible. Over here, a lot of the Tyrell infantry has been cut down now, and I think that's kind of it for them. Yeah, they don't have any more men to send on the walls. I believe the skirmisher cav did actually use, they're actually using a lot of their ammunition, which is really good for me on the rest of these Tyrells. And Apollo is going to commit this unit of infantry to this street because he believes that the Umber soldiers are going to retreat. I still have my entire army pretty much outside the city, rested. We have, if we actually look at it quickly, you can see we have Lannister heavy swords. We have 2 units of Lannister spearmen, I believe, somewhere. Some Lannister knights and 3 units of longbowmen and a catapult we still have ready to be shot if needs be. I'm hoping to try and not use that until the bitter end, but we might have to. We might have to if it calls for it. The fighting at the gatehouse is brutal, and oh my god, this is just an epic replay. You guys love these super long battles, but these battles are difficult to cast because I have to try and keep you guys entertained for an entire hour and a half or however long this battle will end up being. But hopefully the battle does that for me. Definitely going to be taking a few sips of my water now and again just to ease up the pressure on my voice. I hope one day as well we'll be able to go through the gatehouse without it pushing me over it. Yeah, I want to actually see right into this gatehouse. If we look from the point of view of these Tyrell soldiers as they're... Oh my god, that Lannister soldier just got smashed by a Mormon soldier. That is my siege equipment, I believe. Some of the dudes who have already run out of ammunition, I'm just pushing them forward. The House Glover are pushing forward, but the House Tyrell with their medium infantry are also going to be pushing to the front of the line, trying to make way as best they can. I mean, at the moment, this is our best engagement. This little pocket of resistance right here should soon be cut out because we are making ground. You can see my Lannister warriors have managed to get around the flank here, so it pretty much means that this unit of Mormon and Karstark, or no, Glover and Karstark infantry are kind of all by themselves. So because of that, they're going to eventually get surrounded as we get more and more men in, and if we can break this and we can then resupply the men at the gates, outflank them, and then that will be, just help us clean up the rest of this. You can see that a lot of these soldiers are now formed up, and I think something horrible is coming. I won't spoil it for you guys, but I can see it in the distance. Just, keep your eyes peeled. We will watch this for a little bit longer. And if you can kind of see, you can't really see because there's so many men here, but the amount of dead bodies which are just scattering this breach right now is horrendous. The fact that we got rid of these towers is really important for us.
Our men are rallying. They're not done yet.
Of course they're not. They are brave Lannister soldiers. We've paid them enough gold to fight, and fight they will. I mean, there's not really too much left over here, if I'm honest. There's only a few Lannister knights. If we press K quickly, we can see. Yeah, you can see there's just one unit of Lannister heavy swords left, which have 84 men left. And after they're broken, there's not really a lot left. Obviously, there's some Bracken heavy swords which we have to break through. But if we can break this and we can supply men over here to the House Glover, and we can defeat them, and then once we defeat that, we can then push men to the gatehouse and then take that. If we look at the balance of power, you can see that I'm down to 6,000 men. So I've lost around about 4,000 men. These archers have been slaughtering me. It's just been brutal. Volley after volley after volley. And they are all finding their target. They have all found their target onto this infantry. And I think we're about to see it. We're about to see the devastation that's to occur at this breach. Just to make this breach was brutal. I do not feel like I do not envy any soldier that was here fighting, because this was a hard fought fight, and any man that survived this was lucky to tell their children the events of what happened here. And here we go. You can see it in the distance already. The catapults are coming, but these aren't any catapults. These are explosive catapults. And oh my god, look at that explosion, sending my men flying. That was brutal. That must have killed so many soldiers there. A massive hit by Apollo. And that's going to, again, just, you know, Apollo needs to be getting these hits. But that's going to turn the tide for sure if he can get a few more hits like that. And just look at the dead scattering this breach, along with the archer fire, along with the catapults. As I was saying, I am not envious of these warriors. They fought beyond bravely. Just absolutely disgusting. If we look over here, though, we are again making more and more ground. I think we're going to get another catapult hit very soon. Obviously, we will watch these catapult hits. Let's watch from a different angle this time. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, it's just devastating. Look how many men are burning. He actually does end up destroying one of his own walls with some of his men on it, which is kind of funny. But that didn't really make a difference because a lot of these men were just stuck up there anyway. But look how many men are just burning. The huge gap, the crevice that it just leaves in its wake. Then the archer fire comes in as well. God, I feel like Napoleon in Russia right now. Just brutal. However, things are not all bad for the attacking force. We do manage to break the Glover soldiers over here, and that's going to allow a breach to pretty much be completely open now. We are going to be pouring every soldier we have into this breach, trying to kill these men at the gate. And then once we kill the men at the gate, we're going to push out. But my god, look at the death. This is the devastation of archers. How deadly archers can be. Look at how many Reach soldiers are just laying dead on this street. Freezing in the snow. And if you're not dead, you'll probably be freezing to death. Brutal. A few of the Tyrell soldiers did manage to push on though. And they are currently fighting these Bracken swordsmen and Bracken spearmen, which are somewhat depleted, which is good. But again, just, I mean, there's just hundreds of soldiers died here. Hundreds and hundreds. There's no enemy troops here. This is all just archer fire. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But again, we are whittling down their ammunition. More catapult shots coming in. And they are still trying to push on at the gate. They've actually managed to reclaim the gatehouse. Well, not so much reclaim the gatehouse, but they've managed to push back a lot of the forces at the gatehouse. Originally, we were actually out here trying to push through the gatehouse. But, you know, now we've actually been pushed into the gate itself. But we do have plenty of Lannister soldiers coming in to support now. You can see the Reach are pushing in now as well now. So we will start to be able to putting pressure on these soldiers from the right flank or the left flank, I guess, if you're looking from a defender's point of view. You just see every second, you just see these archers just volleying shot after shot. And then we go some more catapult hits as well coming in. Oh my god. Oh, look at the men just going flying in the distance. That is crazy. The Reach are throwing all their infantry they can through this breach onto the side. We need to reclaim this gatehouse. If we can reclaim this gatehouse... Oh my god, just look at them explosions. If we can reclaim the gatehouse or actually, you know, push through, then that will allow me to kind of get my infantry in a lot quicker. Because as I said, I still have my entire infantry line back here. They're fresh. I've got a catapult left. I've got my archers are now moving up. But besides that, you know, the archers are doing pretty well. And we've also done a huge amount. We've kind of given them a bit of their own, the taste of their own medicine. I've moved my archers up and I completely peppered this unit of Bracken infantry, which were holding the barricade right there. And you can see the amount of men just laying on the floor. A few of the soldiers just arrows embedded in them. And I'm not letting up. I'm killing as many of these Bracken infantry as possible. Because, as I said, you know, the balance of power is starting to, you know, it's still somewhat in my favor. But look at the numbers. Apollo has definitely managed to cut this down to like just over maybe like a 1,500 man gap. Mace Tyrell as well is very, very low. And these catapults are still racking up huge amounts of kills. We have managed to clean up the gatehouse pretty much. There's not many men left at the gatehouse, but they are fighting to the bitter end, which again is something I absolutely love. The fact that they're still fighting on this late on, and there's like none of their soldiers left. They're surrounded in several places, and they're still just fighting to the last. This is a proper siege battle. They're actually falling back by the looks of it with some of their soldiers. Some of the Tyrells meeting them in combat against the Bracken infantry. Or I think these might be Manister or even Karstark. Oh yeah, Bracken infantry coming up this close. We have finally cleared out this right breach as well, and now we can take a second just to look at the dead at this breach. This is just gruesome. Look at that. But they are fighting on nonetheless. The city is ablaze now as my men move forward. We now have to fight on an even harder task now. We have to fight past a fresh unit of Bracken infantry when my men are obviously exhausted. But the Bracken infantry will not give up this. Oh my god, another massive hit by the artillery. It is brutal. This Bracken infantry is not going to give up this street lightly. They know they've been given the order to hold, and hold they will. My archer fire is still going in. More catapult fire going in. That one actually missing a bit. The dead bodies are just stacking up. So many brave warriors are dead here. But I think the gatehouse is soon to be ours. Yeah, the gatehouse has been claimed by us. However, the Mormon AI archers have formed up on this on the wall. They've actually kind of reclaimed the wall. And all these archers, you can see they're moving up more archers as well now, are now shooting on my archers. The AI has actually been so smart here, and they've pushed up all their forces up onto the wall, and they are now volleying down onto my infantry line. And they're actually killing so many of my archers. Like, the AI is doing such a smart job here. And I'm like, why can't my AI do this? They just sat here and all got shot. But oh well, you know, we will persevere. We need to have 3,000 more men than Apollo. So, you know, you kind of have to just, you know, take it and accept the fact that my men are getting wrecked. But these archers are killing so many of my soldiers now. And not only this, they are also going to be in range of my infantry line. So I need to be pushing down this street as quickly as possible. We need to be making ground. We need to be pushing down here and getting onto that wall again. Because for whatever reason, we can't go up this tower because I believe it's been destroyed. So the only way we can actually get up here onto the wall is if we move up this little break here. But obviously, there's a few Bracken, there's a few infantry, there's actually a half-strength unit of Bracken infantry there. You know, there's a lot of good troops here preventing us from doing this. And as well as that, I don't really have too many men actually left here fighting. A lot of my initial troops I sent, which we saw at the beginning of the battle, have actually gone back now. So because of that, I'm having to actually bring up more of my infantry line, which are getting peppered. Look how many dead Lannisters are laying there. So I formed defensive test judo, and I'm advancing. I'm hoping this will reduce the amount of casualties I receive. But you can see so many of my men are just dropping to this AI archer move. I'm so surprised that the AI did this, and I mean, it's super clever by them, so they're going to be racking up so many kills. They're going to be finding their mark even in this defensive test judo. You can see the sheer amount of just dead laying on the floor. But yeah, I've had to try my best to deploy these men because unfortunately I can't even use these siege towers because they're the Tyrell siege towers. So I mean, thinking about it, what I should have done is I should have at least maybe brought one siege tower or maybe a ladder or something. And Mace Tyrell has been struck down in this combat. The AI was being very loose with him. They were throwing him into combat, you know, pretty willy-nilly. And he did pay the ultimate price there with his life. So Mace Tyrell has been struck down. But that shouldn't really make too much of a difference to these Tyrell soldiers. They're strong enough to, you know, kind of not rout. And we did stick the AI difficulty on very hard, I believe. So they should be, you know, strong enough that losing the general doesn't really make too much difference. You know, it's going to probably make some difference, but not too much, I'm hoping. And again, these archers are just slaughtering me right now. I'm trying my best to pour in infantry, but again, the siege AI is being a bit annoying. It's sending me all round here through this breach when they could just march through the city gate. So the siege AI is being a bit frustrating right now, or the siege pathfinding, I guess I should say. But I think we finally managed to clean up the remnants of these Bracken warriors. And House Tyrell are going to push along this street. along with my Lannister warriors. I'm rushing my Lannister warriors up here as quickly as possible because I need to silence these archers, because now they are starting to focus on some of my warriors in the back line here. I love how the warriors on the front line kind of hide behind the wall and then kind of like take a pot shot, shoot their arrow. Shoot your arrow, man. I'm waiting for you to volley. He's just getting the perfect shot, I think. I mean, he's like the bowmaster right now, the bowmaster of Helm's Deep. You can see there's now starting to volley over here on my back units. This is just not looking good for me so far. I'm having to form defensive testudo with these guys very soon. The archer fire, again, you can see what I mean when I said earlier how the archer fire is just brutal. And now we're going to be stopped. The AI again is preventing me from getting on these walls with some more Glover infantry. I just need to kill these guys as quickly as possible to keep on pushing. I obviously have more infantry ready to just pour into the city. But I really want to just kind of commit as less men as physically possible, you know, as few men as I can. I'm bringing up a unit of my archers along with some infantry. I'm going to try and break down this barricade and open up another avenue for my men to really push through. I'm moving up my archers inside the city just because it means that they have longer range in here. Archers are moving up. What am I doing with my archers? I'm actually going to break down this barricade with my archers. I don't think so. I am gonna break down this barricade though with my heavy infantry. And Apollo is gonna remount the barricades. That's so cool. I really wish you could, like, there was animations in this game where the infantry was trying to like climb over the barricades, and that the infantry would just like be stabbing down and they'd be fighting up. I think that'd be really cool. But I mean, this animation is still kind of cool. They're just attacking the barricade, and we should be done with that very soon. But Apollo has got a lot of his infantry ready to prevent me. And also, I believe we're also getting shot in the back by these archers up here. I believe they are actually shooting me in the back over here, which is again just super good by the AI. We finally managed to break through these Glover infantry. There weren't a lot of them left, so now I'm going to take so much pleasure in moving my infantry up here and just killing these archers. I'm going to do what they did to the English longbows when the French caught them. I'm going to be cutting off their fingers so they can never use a longbow again, because I definitely feel the French pain in this battle. The amount of men I lost to archers is just disgusting. And I definitely feel the pain of the French for sure, and how much they hated the longbow. So the AI is going to do it again, something really smart, is they're going to be pushing their archers in to stop me whilst they still kind of allow the rest of their archers to shoot. So these archers are going to be volleying heavily into just more of my men. You can see, look how many men are just dropped dead. But I'm not going to be taking any of this. My swordsmen will be slicing down these archers like they're nothing. And we actually also lost the gate as well. They actually reclaimed the gate because they had some archers here. So this actually means that I can't actually move any men through the gate again, because I'll lose them to oil, which is really hilarious. So I'm actually having to then, you know, reclaim the gate. My men are going to have to wait or come through one of the breaches. We're now fighting over this barricade. I love the way the barricade is still moving up. Like, some soldiers are actually up on the barricade still. It'd be kind of cool again if my men were climbing up on the barricade and stuff like that. And we're not really up against too much of a hard task right now. We have a lot of lighter infantry we're fighting, so as soon as we just finish up this Bracken infantry, things should be a lot easier. And the lag should start to slow down a bit now, because, you know, if we look at the kills again, you can see that there's only around about 7,000 men left in this battle. Or like six and a bit. Yeah, 6 and a bit thousand men left in this battle. And these archers are just being killed. This brings a smile to my face to see these archers dying. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this battle so far. You know, as you guys just saw, it's not even like, I think it's only just come halfway done right now. You know, even though the fighting for the streets has, and the gate and the walls have kind of ended, there's still a lot of engagements left. We might speed through a little bit as we're marching our force to the city centre. But as I said, we still have to fight over the city centre. There's still a few more pockets of resistance as my Lannister soldiers fight along with the Tyrell medium infantry to kill these Bracken warriors. You know, there's still a lot of fighting. This was just such a fun battle to fight for sure. I can already feel my voice starting to go as well. This is going to be brutal. The remnants of Mace's bodyguard are fighting on. They're like, for Mace! We were sworn to protect him and we failed him. I mean, I'm surprised Mace even charged into battle, really. I think we're slowly taking back the gatehouse now as well. I knew I needed to take this back just to prevent the burning oil. And yet, we don't think we've actually looked at it yet. Look how many dead died to that burning oil. There's a good couple hundred men here, which really could have been used elsewhere. So destroying that gatehouse probably would have been pretty important. And I've finally managed to stop all these archers from shooting now. I am more than happy. I'm ecstatic with this. The amount of kills these archers got, I am really happy to cut them down, push them into a corner. They can either jump off the walls or they can die to my swordsman. So I will give them no quarter, no surrender. They will all be cut down. And if I win this battle, I will ensure any prisoners we got captured will be slaughtered. The Reigns of Castamere will be playing. That's what we're going to be doing as we march through the city, if we are victorious, of course. And, you know, if we look at the kills, I don't know. The balance of power is shifting in my favor, which is really good, but Apollo's definitely cut the man difference down. But the nice thing is what I've done. A lot of my men haven't got engaged into this battle yet. So because of that, you know, normally what happens is in a siege battle, by the time you get to the city center, your men are exhausted and the defenders have just been chilling here. You know, Apollo has a decent defense right here of Manister infantry, which is just holding the line. And normally what happens is when you get to the inner wall, these soldiers are fresh and your men are exhausted, so your men just lose. But because Tywin did a very smart thing and held a lot of his infantry in reserve, you know, he's going to be able to fight with fresh infantry against the strength of Apollo's, you know, fresher infantry in the city centre. So we might get a little bit tired because we are obviously having to march into the city. So we actually have to cover some distance. But overall, it should be okay. And I think we've finally seen, you can see up there, finally cutting down the last few archers. Oh, I'm so happy that's the case. There's a few more Bracken Spearmen here, fighting to the end as well, which is what I love to see. And you can also see that I'm pouring in all my infantry now into the city. I want these guys just to form up. I want to start pushing on the city centre. Because again, time might start becoming a bit of an issue for me. You know, we did play a 60-minute battle. So because of that, you know, Apollo could hold out. There's a lot of men. There's tons of men. So because of that, Apollo could hold out and like long enough to win the day. And as you guys can see, this battle goes down to the wire. Literally, the last few seconds, the battle could go either way. This Bracken infantry are doing an amazing job at holding. They've only lost, what, like 80 men? And they are holding back an entire army. These soldiers are exhausted, though. You can see I'm also bringing up a catapult as well. I am also throwing in my own cavalry as well. Up here, I want to make sure I catch these archers. These archers actually do have some ammunition left right now. Not much, but some. And I want to make sure I charge into them. So I'm going to be chasing them. And I'm going to have so much pleasure cutting them down as they flee for their lives. These towers are going to be doing some damage to me. And my Lannister knights are going to be doing plenty to them. Now that we've caught them, there's no escape for the archers. They have to turn and fight and try their best to survive, but it does not look good for them. These cavalrymen are strong. We managed to destroy another tower. That's going to allow my men pushing forward just not to lose more men. I mean, things are starting to look pretty good for me. Obviously, Apollo has a strong defense. Like, don't get me wrong. Apollo has 2 units of Manister infantry there. He has a bunch of longbowmen still left. He has 2 units of Bracken infantry. He has his general, the northern general. Some more Bracken heavy infantry, and he also has some more archers back here, again giving me nightmares. So Apollo still has a lot of infantry left, you know. He did use his AI very, very well to kind of act as a meat shield for him. So that is pretty good. That will allow him to kind of really just have fresh men in reserve. There's just so many dead bodies right here. We need my cavalry to get freed up as soon as possible so they can go and outflank the rest of this formation. I'm moving some more Lannister soldiers up here because I really, really want to, again, outflank these positions. Because once I outflank these positions, it will open up so much room in my kind of plan of pushing forward into the city. I'm going to get a brilliant charge up. These troops routed and came back, but I'm going to get a charge into the back of them and hopefully finish the rest of them off. You can see my infantry are moving up. I'm going to be directly moving my horses as fast as physically possible around here and opening up this siege point right here, smashing into these archers and then smashing into the infantry. But I should allow all these reach soldiers to then push into the city without much issue. Apollo's going to get, I think going to get a really nice charge off on my swordsman, or maybe not. Maybe he's going to fall back his horses, looking to use them elsewhere. Yeah, he's just going to fall back his horses, which makes sense. I'm going to use this time to actually capture this point. This is going to give me more morale for my infantry. So that's really, really good. I'm going to be using this to just, again, reduce Apollo's morale as well inside the city. And you can see all my infantry pouring in now. We also have a bunch... yeah, we have a ton of soldiers coming around to open up this gap. Apollo tried to use his archers, who are up to silver experience from no experience, just from this battle. So my cavalry should be cutting them down. Again, a huge grin on my face for killing them archers. And then as soon as we've managed to rout them, which we just have done, we're going to be pushing on to the back of these Bracken infantry. But even still, even though we charge them in the back with horses, they still put up a massive fight. And they still kind of slow me up here for like another 6 or 7, or not 6 or 7, but a couple more minutes. Which again, with the closeness of this battle, really could have come into play. So I'm going to get a massive charge off into the back of that Bracken infantry. As well, whilst that is happening, I'm just moving my infantry into the city. You can see that I don't really have too much left. Even Tywin himself is coming in as Apollo tried to get a cheeky charge into my catapults. So I decided to counter-charge with Tywin himself. Tywin did not want to get his hands bloody today, but he is going to fight the Skirmisher Cav, and he should be more than capable of taking care of these guys. This is, as I said, just Skirmisher Cav, so, you know, nothing too scary whatsoever. My infantry have poured into the city now. They are taking the ground, and they're getting a breath back whilst also pushing on. Because, again, I realise that time might actually become an issue for me. Apollo has formed up his infantry, if we look at that. You can see that these guys are ready to hold. You've got 2 units of Lannister infantry here. He's got another unit of his Skirmisher Cavalry, which are going to go be a nuisance to me. Oh, they just form a shield wall as well. Awesome. It's so peaceful and quiet over here. So yeah, he's formed up there. He also has 2 units of his Bracken infantry, his Bracken spearmen, holding this little hill. That looks very, very cool. And then finally, he also has one last guarding the rear of this battle. He also does have 2 more units of infantry and some cavalry as well. He's going to be using his cavalry just to get a brilliant charge off onto my infantry, which are in loose formation. That's obviously going to be doing quite a lot of damage. And then he's just going to turn around and get the hell out of there. Losing a few horses as he tries to pull out. But overall, completely worth it for him. You see a few of these horses getting caught in my infantry. But I think overall that was completely worth it for him. My infantry are moving on as fast as they can. Have we cleaned this up yet? No, the Bracken infantry are still fighting, even though they are surrounded by so many men. Oh, I think we actually just claimed victory. Yeah, we just claimed victory there. So that's going to free up all these reach soldiers to push on. which is, again, huge for me. It adds in so many more men into this combat.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
My men are going to be forming up, but again, Apollo still has 2 more units of archers left. This is, when I saw this, I think I might have cried a little inside. The fact that he still has 2 units of archers with full ammunition left in his city centre, I wept a bit. I wept with the thought of that. And here we go. This is the last engagement. Thank you guys. So if you're still around at this point, I thank you guys massively. We're already We're already almost an hour into this battle, and we still have a fairly lengthy engagement left to go, an epic lengthy engagement for sure, as we get down to the final stages of this battle. My Lannister soldiers pushing onto the Lannisters. It's going to be hard for me to break this though, due to the fact that he's in shield wall, and my men are exhausted after fighting and marching all this distance. I'm pouring in more men. I really want to break him here. But something I could have definitely have done was I could have brought more men round the sides. I do engage him in every single point, but I do commit a lot of infantry here, which is kind of, I guess, a sitting duck for his archers, then just a volley shots after shots. You can already see them coming in. Maybe what I could have done is I could have spread my men out a lot more, and that would have saved me more casualties. Of a Reach pushing in as well. I believe the Reach are pushing in. Yeah, you can see them running through the city now along with the rest of my men. And we can actually take this time now just to look at the death and destruction. Let's just go through here slowly. We'll slow down the camera like we have and just watch this as more Reachmen push through the city. First off, looking at this breach. So, man, there's a lot of Carstocks here, but you can see in this armor there are a lot of Carstocks laying dead. But there's plenty more Tyrell and Lannister warriors. Then if we look at this breach as well, this breach was probably the less brutal of all the breaches. More Lannister soldiers just in reserve here, holding these guys back. The gatehouse as well, it was pretty brutal. The burning oil was disgusting. The dead just scattering the actual approach to the siege. You know, a lot of these soldiers died outside the city as well. This wall where we slaughtered them archers, probably one of the best parts of this battle for me, with killing these archers, cornering them. This street as well. So many dead. So many brave Tyrell warriors died here to archer fire. They need to try and come up with an arrow-proof piece of armor, really. Or bigger shields. Much bigger shields. We need to have the Bolton shields from the TV show. I think we're actually doing pretty good here right now. If I'm honest, we're making plenty of ground. If we look at the kills right now, you can see that the lag is pretty much completely gone now as well. But yeah, if we look at the amount of kills, I've still got 2-to-1 advantage. You know, Apollo has 1,500 men, I have over 3,000. So again, balance power is looking good, but actually breaking this, and the fact that Apollo has 2 units of full archers left, you can see this unit of archers and this unit of archers, it's gonna be very difficult for me. Oh my god, look how many men drop. I lost 50 men in that volley. 50 men. Over 50 men in a volley. That is just insane. I mean, I am somewhat to blame for this because I've bulked my men up, but I want to try and use numbers to push through here. So you guys, if Apollo can do 50 kills each volley, then this battle could definitely be turning in his favor. I've also managed to push onto these towers. I'm trying to take these towers out as quickly as possible. I also have a unit of infantry which are outside the city. I guess the pathfinding messed up a bit. And they're marching outside the city, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, we're making sure we're taking these towers as best as possible. And I am moving with my archers. This was kind of a desperation move. I actually managed to destroy that tower as well. This was somewhat of a desperation move. I thought I could try and break through this this infantry block and get onto his unit of archers. Which, looking back on it, was just retarded. I could have used this unit of Lannister heavy cavalry elsewhere. Definitely. But we are making a lot of we're making a lot of ground right now over here. We've been recording for over an hour now, almost an hour. My voice is hurting. You know, my commentary's probably gone downhill. But I love you guys for staying this long if you have. I really appreciate it. But yeah, the timer should be speeding up now. The reason we have been playing for so long was down to the fact that we just had so many men that it was laggy. So it slowed it down a bit. But you can see the timer is going a lot quicker now. For sure, and we are making a lot of headway over here against these Manister infantry. There's not many of them left, and yeah, it is looking good. We just need to keep on pushing. But these archers are just volleying shot after shot after shot at me, and it's definitely racking up more kills. Even hitting Tywin right now. Tywin is losing quite a few horses. Again, this was kind of my misplace. I placed Tywin on my archers by mistake. And Apollo is obviously shooting my archers. We always make a pact not to kill each other's, you know, not to kill each other's general with missile fire, because that would be pretty lame. The Tyrell infantry are going to take this siege side, and they're going to be pushing down up here with the remnants of their forces. The remaining like couple hundred they have. I don't think they even have more than maybe like 300 soldiers. I also have a few Lannister warriors supporting them as well. And they're going to be pushing up against these Bracken swords. And again, like, just look for a second. Like, the good thing is a lot of my infantry are fresh, even though they are getting a bit tired moving up here. But, you know, they're at least, you know, not completely exhausted. A lot of my infantry moving in the city as well. But yeah, look how exhausted all these Tyrell warriors are compared to these Bracken's spearmen. They're going to have the advantage for sure. You can see this unit is completely fresh. I've got some Tyrell soldiers coming around as well. I did manage to take care of these towers. I knew I had to kill these towers if I really wanted to just minimize my casualties. Because if we look at it, the archers are starting to make it. You know, I've lost like 500 men in the space that Apollo's lost maybe like 100. So he is not going to give up this city easily, but we are making, well, we're making a huge push here. If we can just break through this line and then get onto his last men and just ensure that he is stretched everywhere, that he can't just deploy men where he wants to. He has to commit every single man to this breach. Some of my Lannister soldiers even pushing forward onto this shield wall. I think Tywin himself is going to be pushing up now, along with my catapults. I need these catapults to get some huge hits. If I can get some huge hits into the back of these formations, then maybe victory can be claimed. Tywin is being pushed up to the city, into the city centre. He's going to be here to raise morale of the troops, keep them happy. I think we can just spend the last, like, you know, just the last, what, 15 minutes of this replay just watching my men getting slaughtered by archer fire. But at least we have the numbers to do this. If we didn't have that 3,000 man advantage, I don't know if we would be able to hold this. We'd be able to sustain this much damage from the archers. And then we have it. My longbowmen are running out of ammunition now, which is not too good, but I managed to kill quite a few of the longbowmen as well, so overall not too bad. Some awesome duels going down. Some awesome duels. If we look at it, there's only 18 minutes left of this battle. We need to keep on pushing hard. I need to be committing as many men as possible. I do have some more reinforcements coming up to the fight. I have an entire unit of fresh Lannister warriors, which can be huge here. I also have another fresh unit as well. These are my last... Oh, no, these are Tyrell men. So this is like 100 Tyrell infantrymen, which just like glitched out here, and they just keep running back and forth. And again, this could have been huge in the battle. Unfortunately, the AI did bug out though, which is just such a shame. Because if we look at it, they have what, like 60 men there and 75 there. So you're like 130 men. And that could have been huge indeed. Well, my catapults are finally firing now. Getting a massive hit. We actually missed that hit, which is such a shame. But, you know, we managed to hit, like, burn a bunch of these Manister infantry. And they're just going to break formation and charge into here. Because he knows if I want to shoot this unit, I have to probably shoot my own men as well. Finally breaking these towers down as well. Good. These Bracken warriors fighting over this statue. That looks awesome. The Tyrells are starting to run out of men. Especially with the Archer Fire coming in as well. I need to try. I think I'm going to commit a unit of infantry here. You can see I'm committing 1 unit of infantry over here just to resupply them, because, you know, this is probably the most stretched out place, and I do have heavy infantry here as well. So if I can use my heavy infantry to break this, then maybe I can get through onto Apollo's infantry. Again, I feel like I just committed way too many men to this breach. I really wanted just to use numbers to run through, because you can see Apollo only has 84 Manister infantry there and a fresh unit, but if we keep on working hard, we could have maybe have broken that. But I think maybe committing more men to this back breach would have helped me out, even though, you know, it is hard fought right now and doesn't look like we're making too much ground. I think if we would have committed some more men here, we could have easily have broken through this. Because at the moment we're struggling. Being in shield wall gives his infantry massive bonuses, and the fact that his men are fresh as well is just going to make it even harder. The Archer Fire coming in. How are my men doing as they're pushing in? Cool, that unit's pretty much in range. I actually had to run back my catapult because Apollo decided to start shooting it. So it actually brought back my catapult like away, just because I needed to get it out of range of his archers, because again I need to be using that as much as possible. I'm trying to use my numbers here, just pushing forward. I'm obviously going to lose a lot of men doing this, because they're going to be vulnerable. They're not going to be having their shields up or anything, but it's going to allow me to actually get in his formation. It's going to allow me to start breaking around this flank. Tywin is here himself. I tried to actually push up my catapult here and get a good shot off on the back of these men, but I luckily managed to hit this instead of my infantry line, which saved me a lot of men. But still, I just don't feel like I'm making any headway against these Bracken infantry. They're just doing what they do best and holding, which is not good for me. Not good for me whatsoever. The timer is ticking down. My only real hope here is if I can break through this. But the Manister warriors are not giving me any quarter. They are fighting bravely, though. I have to give the Lannisters that. They have not let me down this battle whatsoever. We are actually losing some men over in this breach as well. The Bracken swords are just in shield wall, and they're doing an amazing job. We are cutting a few down, but not enough, I don't think. And the Archer Fire is still going on. This stuff is giving me nightmares. If we look at the balance of power quickly, we can see again it's still in my favor, which is good. But the numbers are starting to I guess, go in Apollo's favor. He's cutting down the man difference. I think originally it was 1,500, and now it's getting close to just 1,000. My saving grace right now is the fact that his archers are somewhat running out of ammunition. That is my only saving grace right now. And a few of these Tyrell men you can see are cowards and are running from the field. If only these last few Tyrell soldiers would come and reinforce this, maybe we could break through this a little bit quicker. Apollo is going to dismount his general now, and when we were playing, we were actually messing around. I was like, Apollo, if you dismount your general, he classes as an infantry unit. I'm going to shoot him to death. And Apollo was like, well then, I'm going to remount him, man, and then you can't do it. Obviously, we were only joking. I'd never shoot his general. But, you know, we were just messing around whilst we were playing this battle. If we go to the siege opening over here, we can see the Manister infantry are down to 150 and 656. Again, he still does have a lot of his horses left as well. The Umber General is still alive. I think this is Great John Umber. Yeah, Great John Umber is commanding the forces in the city centre here. I guess he managed to escape the Red Wedding as well, because I believe he was captured. Yeah, obviously he was captured, Great John Umber. He was captured. I think he was pinned down by like 15. I say this every single battle, but I love it. It's one of my favourite parts of the book, of the third book. He was just pinned down by like 20 Frasers he was trying to protect Rob, breaking necks, ripping out throats. Keep pushing, men. Forward, on to glory. Do not let your brother's deaths be in vain. Slow the camera right down and just get some panning shots for you guys.
An entire unit has perished.
Entire units are dying. That's how intense this battle is. I think Great John Umber has decided to go into this battle now. He's seen that his men are starting to dwindle and he needs to go in to rally the soldiers. So he's going to push his general in to try and support this. I think Apollo's general as well has also gone in, because Apollo's general was actually dismounted. So he's actually going to be fighting on foot. The Blackfish is fighting. That's how desperate it is. And a balance of power is looking good for me. I still have 900 more men than Apollo. He's done an amazing job of cutting down the difficulty. But my fresh troops, which have now come into the battle, you can see I've got an entire fresh unit here, or at least somewhat fresh after being shot to pieces. We're going to be able to at least start putting some pressure on this infantry unit. And as you can tell, my commentary has definitely slowed up. But I feel like towards the end of this battle, we'll just sit back and watch this epic last stand. I feel like I think like I've said everything I've needed to say in this. What so far I think has been an hour and 10 minutes. Just truly epic. And hopefully you guys see this and drop lots of love on this and want me to do more battles like this. I can't dare to think how long this is going to take me to render. This is probably going to take me like 4 hours to actually render. I'm definitely not looking forward to that, but I'm looking forward to see what you guys say about this battle. Because I really hope you guys enjoy this. Love for some feedback as well on it. If you guys want to see more of this, less of this, you know, just let me know. Great John, how many men does Great John Umber have left? He's only lost 10 men. As well as that, Tywin's moving up, so I think I'm actually going to deploy Tywin very soon. Oh, here we go. My catapult has finally come back into range, and they miss. My catapults did not do me any favors in this battle. Again, missing again. I think it's about to run out of ammunition. Again, missing. And again, killing the majority of my own men, if anything. And yeah, it's about to run out of ammunition very soon. It really did let me down. If it got one central hit in the back of this formation, then this battle, I could have lost a lot less men trying to push forward to the city centre. Could this be the hit though? Nope, of course not. It fails, it falls short once again.
The unit has fired all of its ammunition.
Finally though, with its last shot, it actually managed to get a direct hit, but then it ran out of ammunition. And I think it killed more of my own men in them few volleys than it did of the enemy forces. The Reach are running like the cowards they are. It's a shame, really. The Reach did an amazing job this battle. They sacrificed so many of their brave warriors. And I think they've just left it now. They've left the Lannisters to fight. Apollo's going to be going on the aggression now, and he's actually going to be pushing on. He's seizing the opportunity of my weaker units on this side. Because I guess if he does clean up this unit of Lannister infantry, he can then redeploy this infantry elsewhere. I am slowly breaking through. There we go. Great John Umber has been slain in this battle. Awesome, but there's no other men left. Like the the North don't have any men left to deploy. So, more archer fire. There's a pain of the missiles. Not enough. Is it not over yet? I was hoping he would be out of ammunition by this point, but you know, an hour and whatever into the battle, he is not. But this spear infantry, if we look at the amount of men left, the spear infantry has only 106 men left, you know, from 200. So we're slowly doing this. As well as that, we also have the Blackfish engaged. If we get a lucky kill on the Blackfish, that could be huge. That could rout the rest of Apollo's infantry. So we are pushing on as best as we can. But the Blackfish is not easily defeated. Oh no, he's actually decided to remount up his horses. Oh, the Blackfish has actually gone back onto his horse after finally clearing out this pit over here. If we look at the main engagement, we can see that the Lannister and Tyrell, or the remnants of the Tyrell forces, are still pushing on. It's just such a slugfest. And I think the majority, because you guys love these Medieval 2 sieges, so I hope you guys enjoy this, because this definitely does remind me of a Medieval 2 grind fest right now. Oh, that guy just got sliced. Even at this point, they're still managing to do some epic killing animations. If I've been fighting for this long, I think I'd be exhausted. I'd probably be the first one dead in a battle like this. You can see every single soldier is just being pushed into this engagement. More archer fire is still going on. This stuff is giving me nightmares. The Blackfish, by the looks of it, has now dismounted for the last time. And he's going to form up to die with his men. They don't have a lot of men left. They have a few Lannister infantry, have 75 men left. This one is down to 14 men and they're fighting to the bitter end. Then it's only really this Bracken Light Cavalry. Wait, is that Bracken Light Cavalry here? Damn, I did not even know that. If I would have known that, I would have pushed on these guys a lot harder, I think. Apollo actually dismounted these dudes, but I guess every bit of infantry really does help. Archer fire still going out. And I'm just running out. I'm running more and more of my men are just running out over on this flank. My men routing and then coming back and then routing and then coming back. But I've managed to push through this far right formation. You can see that I'm actually behind it. We've definitely made some headway, and there's even some Tyrells. There's not many Tyrells left on this battlefield, but there are a few. And they are fighting bravely indeed. This is it, lads, for sure. And again, we are starting to break a lot of their soldiers. You can see, before, they actually held the state. Oh my god, the statue's all bloody now. That's awesome. They actually did manage to hold this statue. But now we're starting to push forward, so you can actually see the length of which our men have gone. And I think Apollo used his soldiers from this side of the battlefield to resupply, because he saw his spearmen were starting to dwindle. As well as that, Tywin himself has had to been pushed into this engagement, I believe. Yeah, you can see Tywin's forces right here. Just pushing on because the timer is ticking down. If that timer does hit the 0 mark, I will lose this battle. But if I can rout his forces before that, then maybe I can claim victory. Because if that timer does tick down, I don't think the Lannisters have any more men to really send. Every man has given his all to this battle. Come on, just keep pushing. Break through these statues. No, my archers who I threw into combat are all starting to rout now. They're routing, coming back, routing, coming back. You can see my siege crew even having to be deployed, coming into the back. Just every man, just go to the front line. Fight till you have nothing left to fight for. I mean, my men are definitely doing that now. Definitely. Hold your line. The siege crew have given up. The siege crew have had enough. They've been engaged for like 2 seconds and they're like, no, nope, this battle is too grindy for me. I'm out of here. That's a good thing to hear right now. We have managed to push through on this flank right now with everything we have. I am using my numbers. If we press K and actually look at it, you can see that Apollo only has 400 men left and I have 1,000 men left. So I'm just going to be pushing forward and trying to use my numbers as best as physically possible. These light horses are getting cut down. Apollo's remounted up his general, and I think he's going to get ready to deploy him. He has to deploy him. There's 4 minutes left of this epic battle. I'm hyped just, towards the end of this battle now. I've got my second wind after that. I needed to recharge and just be a bit quiet for a while after this, because this is going to end up being like an hour-and-a-half long battle, which is just insane. And I appreciate everyone who's made it this far into the battle. Those of you who have watched it in parts, I also appreciate that. But I mean, hopefully you guys can show lots of love. Let's try and break like 400 likes on this video. I'd appreciate that so much. As we come to the end of this battle. Again, who knows who's going to win? I mean, I have the numbers, but Apollo has the time on his side. I need to keep on pushing as hard as possible. These archers are still shooting as well. You can tell by my voice how annoyed I am at these archers. They're still volleying shot after shot after shot. I don't know, how much ammunition do they even have left? That's what I want to know. They're just about to run off, but it doesn't really matter. The battle is almost over. More of my men are starting to rout. I just need to work on. I've managed to get Apollo's general down to... I managed to kill 30 men. If I can break Apollo's general, I can claim victory. And just look at how close. If these 100 men were over in this fight right now, who knows how different this could have been. An extra 100 men in here, this breach could have easily have broken through on this right flank. Easily. Because my Lannister soldiers are doing an amazing job of it by themselves. With the support of some of the siege crew, which again are going to rout. Fight on, brave warriors. If we go back over to this fest, Apollo did dismount his general now as well. Keep pushing on. Break this. If we can kill Apollo's general, we can claim victory. But again, Apollo could kill my general. My Lannister warriors are fighting bravely. Come on, find the Blackfish and end him. We need him to die. Apollo is actually managing to break me over here. I only have a few men left now throwing in his archers, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. I've managed to actually break his Bracken Spearmen though. These archers are going to hold up my infantry. If I could have used his infantry to outflank, that would have been huge. Apollo is going to throw his heavy swords, the remnants of his heavy swords over here. You can see I'm trying my best just to pull through as quickly as I can. I know I need to break this. If only there weren't any of these heavy spears there. I mean, these swords there. And think of the damage these 100 Tyrell infantry could do right now. If they were in here, they could have completely changed this battle. If they were here, they could have pushed up this ramp, gone to outflank Apollo's general.
Our men are wavering. A unit is
Hold the line, boys. That's all I ask you do. These archers are annoying. There's like this unit of like literally 4 Tyrell infantry now. They must be exhausted. And Tywin has been slain. That does not spell victory for me. That spells defeat. And I think that's going to be it, if I'm honest. Yeah, that's going to be it. We've got a minute left, but I think I'm just going to go up and end it here because I think a majority of my men are going to rout now. And there we have it. So, oh my god. That was probably one of the longest videos I've done on my channel. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. For those of you stuck around to the end, I appreciate you guys so much. Give me ideas down below for other battles we can do like this. If you do enjoy these super long battles, make sure to drop a like down below and a comment. I don't think everyone has time to watch battles as long as this. It was actually a close defeat. Losing my general just made me lose. And there we have it. Oh no, because I ended it. We don't actually get to see the kills at the end, yeah, because, oh, that's so annoying. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Apollo's archers killed over 2,500 soldiers. No, even more than that. I think they killed over 3,000 people, which was just absolutely disgusting. Some of my infantry getting up to 400 kills, which was pretty cool. But yeah, oh my god, that was the longest cast I think I've ever done. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as I said several times during the video, make sure to share this with your friends. Make sure to drop a like. Make sure to drop a comment down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. And fish out.